and welcome to this month's Kay and Burton Market Report. I'm Mona Ibellini, and this report is brought to you by Kay and Burton and Dr. Andrew Wilson from My Housing Market. The Melbourne weekend home auction market has continued to produce consistent results over April, with auction clearance rates consolidating at levels similar to those recorded over the previous 2 months. Steady clearance rates were recorded despite the usual significant April holiday distractions, with Easter and the Anzac Day holidays occurring over consecutive weekends. Melbourne recorded an overall weekend auction clearance rate of 71.0% over April, which was just below the 72.4% reported over March, but lower than the 79.2% recorded over April 2021. 4,457 homes were listed for Saturday auction over April at an average of 1,115 per weekend, which was 19.4% more than the 934 averaged over April last year. Melbourne recorded a weekend median auction price for houses of $1.07 million over April, which was 10.3% higher than the $970,000 recorded over April last year. Melbourne reported a weekend auction sales turnover over April of $1.95 billion at a weekend average of $487 million, which was 21.4% higher than last year's April average result at $401 million. Melbourne's South East reported the highest monthly auction clearance rate over April, followed by the Outer East and Inner South regions. Melbourne's Inner East reported the highest median house price sold at weekend auctions over April at $1.458 million, followed by the Inner South of $1.275 million and the Inner City at $1.238 million. Clearance rates in Melbourne's premium inner suburban auction market results were generally higher over April compared to March, with listing numbers significantly higher than April 2021. Auction prices in premium areas remain significantly higher over April 2022 compared to April 2021. The Mornington Peninsula maintained its strong auction market performance over April, with auction clearance rates continuing to exceed 80%, well ahead of the broader Melbourne auction market results. Median house auction prices were marginally lower over April compared to April 2021, but from significantly higher listings. Rosebud was the most popular weekend auction suburb on the Mornington Peninsula over April, with a 66.7% clearance rate. Dr. Andrew Wilson says although the spectacular home price growth recorded through 2021 has predictably eased as rising affordability barriers sidelined buyer capacity, prices have nonetheless consolidated at record levels through 2022, with April prices again steady. Market activity levels overall remain elevated despite the easing in price growth, with buyer and seller confidence still clearly positive. Housing market demand is set to be bolstered by the imminent reintroduction of mass migration, which will particularly favour Melbourne, and new government policies directed towards first home buyers. An undersupplied rental market will continue to attract high numbers of investors, with rents rising sharply and demand to be heightened by the return of international students. Thank you for watching this month's Kay and Burton Market Report. We look forward to seeing you next month. The data and projections in this report should be used as a guide only and should not be relied upon in making investment decisions. This extract has been prepared without taking into account your objectives, financial situation, knowledge, experience, or needs.